evening, everybody. This is Mike Tedesco of Wrestleview.com, the editor-in-chief of Wrestleview.com. Welcome to the go-home show to WrestleMania, or go-home post-Raw show for WrestleMania number 76. Very excited to be with you tonight. I currently, me and Victoria are currently practicing our Performance Center impersonation here, as she's not here, but she will be here soon, I assure you. The baby will not go down tonight. She's like one of those babies that just likes to roll around a lot, and she every now and then she rolls around so much to eventually wind up hitting her head on the side of the crib and stuff like that. So she's a little cranky, so we'll have to figure that out. In the meantime, I gotta do the song and dance before she gets back, and I hope I have enough material to go over, because these shows are not giving us enough at all to really talk about, which is fine, because there's so much to talk about in wrestling anyway. At some point, I would say probably next week. Next week there might be some news. If currently what they have is they have everything in the can up to the Raw after WrestleMania. I believe they have the April 8th NXT also in the can, and apparently they are wanting to go live for SmackDown on Fox. That would be Friday, April 10th, which would be Good Friday, actually. And Orange County has a stay-at-home order until April 9th. So when that's lifted, they will be able to do SmackDown in the Performance Center again. But if the way things have been going with the COVID-19 pandemic are any indication, I was supposed to start back at school today, and we are indefinitely postponed, probably not going back. And from what I understand, we might not even start the school year on time, or we'll have to start it with distance learning, just from what is being spread around to to the administrators by the officials that they're talking to. There's a potential for a second wave, from what I understand, which is a little scary. When the hell is this thing going to be over? I can't wait. But there's a good chance. I can't imagine Orange County lifting the stay-at-home order on April 9th and just relaxing everything. Okay, everybody back to normal. I just don't see it. I'm wondering what they do then, because, they need a place to tape. Maybe in Stamford, in the old warehouse at Titan Towers. We'll see. But there's a lot of interesting things going on in wrestling. Before I get into all that, and hopefully Victoria gets here soon, I'd like to say hello to everybody in the chat room. Victoria's here, thank God. Okay, thank goodness. We'll see. And everybody, please. Wait. Okay, what do you want me to wait?
Well, no, because I have to get myself positioned, right?
She has to get herself positioned correctly. Okay, so I'll give her a second. I'm going to say hi to everybody in the meantime.
Hold on.
Mr. V is in the chat room tonight. We got Nafis Sadat, our buddy. Nafis Sadat, our dear friend.
Hello.
Okay, well, let me bring you on now.
Am I okay now?
Yeah, tilt the camera up just a tiny bit.
Up.
Up.
Like that.
That's good. Perfect.
You sure?
Everybody, it's Victoria.
Hello.
There we go.
So I just want to give a quick advice to anybody. Anybody who's a parent knows this already, but if you are becoming a parent or want to be a parent in the future,
or if you make a mistake and become a parent,
excuse me, that's not nice.
Oh, please.
That wasn't nice.
What? People don't have accidents and become parents?
No, but that wasn't nice the way you said it. She's not a mistake.
I'm not saying our baby's a mistake. I'm saying you're just generally saying.
I'm just saying. So anytime you think you have a routine down,
oh no, there's no such thing.
There's no thing as a routine. So the same thing that worked really beautifully the night before doesn't happen the same time. Mike and I learned that a long time ago. That if you do this and this the same way they did the night before, doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. No. And if you're a teacher, Mr. V, I'm looking at specifically, you know that that happens in the classroom as well. If you think you have a routine
100%.
down,
They
things
just
can change
flip a
quickly.
script, so.
Andrew Elder is in the chat room tonight, and I know that Andrew is he's been testing the waters of Victoria lately.
The last week he was funny when he goes, I hope Victoria's not mad at me this week.
Well, we'll see. I mean, he was there was a couple downing of the Miz there. We're gonna have to talk about that momentarily. CJ Bowman in the chat room. Welcome, CJ.
Hi, CJ.
Quentin Walters in the chat room, our buddy. Daniel Scheel.
Hello.
Damn, it's Mike Tedesco in the flesh. Yes, and I might be next time you see me. Very good chance. I mean, I can't take it anymore. Like there's no barbers open. I can't get a haircut. I very well, maybe beardless. I don't know. But they say that you shouldn't even have a beard right now because of like the COVID thing, and it can get like stuck in your beard and whatever. I don't know. But I've been wearing those, N95 masks if I go out. But yeah, just in case. With a newborn at home.
Liliana's not going to recognize you.
I know. Actually, I'm kind of curious to see. Like,
She's
I really
gonna
want to
cry.
remember that that viral video, of the guy going like peekaboo, and he goes, "I'll be right back," and then he comes back and peekaboo's her, and he has no facial hair,
Oh,
and
yeah.
the kid freaks out.
I feel like she's
I
going to
wouldn't
freak
do that.
out.
That would be mean.
No, but I feel like she's going to freak out, though.
Can you tilt the camera down a little bit?
You told me to tilt it up. Now you're going to tilt
now
it
you're
down.
sitting like you're usually going to sit, and yeah, there you go.
The
Perfect.
better?
Much better. Much
Okay,
better.
much better.
Yeah. CJ saying the New York City Department of Education semester is a wash. No question about it.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, all of the colleges around us, their semesters are over. For all intents and purposes, our
It's
school
a matter
year,
of time
our school year is
before
over.
the elementary schools start announcing in this area that it's over. I mean, everything's until further notice.
I mean, it won't be over. They'll just tell us that we're not going back. We're still going to continue with
Correct,
distance
yeah.
learning, which I gotta say, I like distance learning.
I
I don't hate it.
I actually have a
I
thought.
don't
I
hate
know
it.
this is like totally going off, like not about wrestling
Miss
at
the
all.
kids, but I don't hate distance learning either.
I have an idea that I think they should do. They won't, but I think we should get rid of spring break because what spring break is there? Nobody can travel, and like, what are you gonna like mentally decompress for the week? We're already in like the state of bleh, and like get out a week earlier in June.
Yeah, I don't mind that. Yeah,
I'm just saying.
I think they should relax the 180, official days.
That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying. I think there shouldn't be a spring break because again, like you can't do anything. I mean, yeah, you could do stuff in your house, but like nothing is going to be open by that point. So they should just do away with spring break, and then
that's it.
Hopefully by the end of the year, everybody like gets out, and then everybody can actually get out of the house.
Yep.
So.
Machine Walls in the chat room. Hello, Tedesco's and Baby Lily. Grash is in the chat room. Gave me a performance center clap. Andrew, I already said Andrew Elder. Douglas Lackey in
Hello,
the chat
Doug.
room tonight.
Hello.
Doug is in the chat room. Probably regretting some of the things that
he's in trouble.
Put on the line there.
He's in trouble. Didn't he say he was going to do a double shot?
He said he was going to do a double shot.
Doug.
See, that's why you never go against what we post on Wrestleview because we double check and triple check everything. I was almost 100% certain that the Reigns thing was real. You got to be careful. Doug's liver. He might need a transplant at the end. At the end of this, the Wrestleview Weekly post WrestleMania show, it might be liver.
Well, no, Doug. Actually, I have to talk to Doug later because I want to ask him. Is this worse than when I was on the show with him and his liver was very much compromised that time? Because when I was on the show with him, like all my predictions did not come true.
Oh gosh!
And Doug's liver was just in so much trouble.
That was so sad.
So Doug, we have to have a conversation.
Scott Poindexter,
Hello,
the
Scott.
master of the meme, is in the chat room.
Oh my gosh, 100%.
Yes, no one does it. Nobody does it better. Makes me feel sad for the rest.
Nobody does.
Yeah. So anyway, if anybody lives near me and is a barber and isn't exposed to COVID,
no, we're not.
I would like to have a haircut.
I'm sorry, we're quarantining. It doesn't matter if again, people could be asymptomatic and be carriers and no.
That's it. Doug, and of course, our dear friend, Uncle Billy. Billy Hefner is in the chat room tonight. All right, my dear. So, There's a lot of stuff that happened since we've been on the air. We'll talk about Raw momentarily, but a lot of changes to the WrestleMania card, including a change that's very near and dear to your heart. You had mentioned, though, that you were very worried about Roman Reigns.
I did.
And then on Thursday, it comes out that the crew was informed on Wednesday when they taped WrestleMania Night 1 that Reigns was out. You kind of called this.
One of the first things I mentioned was when they were talking about, just as everything was developing in the world, I was like, I'm really worried about Roman Reigns. I don't think he should be performing. And I said, and you can vouch for this. I said I have a strong feeling that Roman Reigns is not going to be a part of WrestleMania. He is the most immune compromised individual of the superstars, hands down. And leukemia being an immune compromising cancer, and even though he's in remission, but he's had it several times throughout his life, I said it just would not be wise for him to perform. And sure enough, I said I highly doubt he will perform, and sure enough, it came out today officially that he will not be part of WrestleMania.
Yes. Reigns did apologize to his fans for not being able to go. He also said that it's not just my health. You don't know the full story. You don't know if I have newborns at home. He doesn't. They were born in 2016, the twins. We don't know if he has older relatives living with him. Yes, I don't know. I don't know his living environment. But yeah, he said there's a lot of reasons, why more than just health. He had to make the right decision for his family. Honestly, even with, 3-year-olds in the house, I wouldn't be comfortable going out and doing something that, is so up close and personal.
Well, here's the thing. Again, kids, yes, there are kids who've gotten the virus. But here's the thing. The kids, majority of the cases, they're usually fine. They present more mild symptoms, but if his twins get it, right, and then give it to him, that's it, so that's the problem.
Very true. Now, whose fault was it that Reigns is not performing?
I mean, whose fault is it?
Who specifically?
Oh, Miz. Okay, listen.
I shouldn't laugh because I mean, I don't. It hasn't been confirmed whether or not Miz has coronavirus.
Here's the thing:
he did come with symptoms. Apparently,
everyone was tagging me in Wrestleview media this past weekend, and I know why, and I appreciate that. This is how I feel. If Miz knowingly had symptoms of any kind, right? That's bad on him. I'm going to be honest here. If he knowingly was coughing or sneezing or not feeling right, he should not have went to the performance center. We don't know what happened, but if he was fine and then showing symptoms, that's another story. Because again, this is a type of situation. It comes up 2 to 14 days after exposure. Are you listening to me?
I am listening to you. I'm listening very closely. Jesus Christ! Like I mentioned that you did that you called Roman Reigns for anybody. I had to have listened on that part. You can't always call me out for not listening, and then after I just put you over big for something that I listened to a week ago.
Anywho,
it's amazing that I can remember anything you said a week ago. You're lucky.
Anyways, so. But if because it's 2 to 14 days after exposure, right? That, let's say he did perform, but then he was feeling sick. That's totally different. You can't really fault him for that, because people, again, they don't know until it's 2 to 14 days after exposure, after you come in contact with it. So that's the case. And like I said, if Miz knowingly knew he was sick and went there, yeah, that's messed up. But the only thing that I have to defend him on, and again, I mean, we really don't know because we weren't there. The Performance Center has been taking it very seriously, though. Like, if you are showing symptoms, be like, no. No?
Oh, no, they have.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, no, I thought you said they haven't been.
No, they have been very cautious. So I find it hard to believe that they would, if Miz really was even like a little bit ill, that they would be like, oh, yeah. You're not being part of whatever.
Yeah.
I just can't see the Miz. He's actually a really good guy. knowingly going into a performance center being sick.
I don't think it has to do anything with what kind of guy he is. You know, like
I just don't think he would do something like
no,
that.
that's the thing.
But if he did, shame on him. I'm gonna own up to it. You can't unknowingly go into the sick and then affect all these other
the
people.
procedure at the performance center, from what's come out is mostly all true, except unless you go to wrestlinginc.com or whatever the hell their website is, because they're complete and total bullshit. In the old days, that would have been a ding on the old soundboard there. But from what's leaked out, they take your temperature when you get there, but the temperature is not like a great indicator of whether you have it or not.
That's not.
You can have symptoms and not present a fever at all.
And not present a fever at all. Yeah, exactly.
It's just like a starting point. And they also made them fill out a questionnaire for how they're feeling as well, and that gets reviewed, and then they can proceed. 10 people, and they stayed true to the government guidelines of 10 people, no more in a room at one time. That's why they couldn't do the battle royal.
Mm-hmm.
That's why, like, I imagine like doing the triple threat tag team ladder match. 8 people in the ring, a referee, 2 commentators got to be there unless they commentate from the back.
From the back, which I assume they would do.
But you have cameramen there. And what are they going to shoot it with one camera?
I don't know.
Interesting. Maybe they'll shoot it with a Vanguard 1 on with a camera on Vanguard 1 or something like that. You know, bring Matt Hardy back for like one night. I don't know. But yeah, it's there. They have been very diligent though, and you know, I don't, and again, nobody knows what's going on with Miz, if he has it or if he just really wasn't feeling good. But no matter what, they did pull him from WrestleMania. He did not perform in the tag team match. And again, all of these shows, WrestleMania was taped on Wednesday and Thursday of last week, right?
Yes. I'm checking something for a source right now. Just continue.
Do your thing.
I'm listening.
So WrestleMania was taped this past Wednesday and Thursday, and the stay-at-home order in Orange County went into effect at 11 o'clock on Thursday. So they were done by then. SmackDown, all of the SmackDowns, including this week's, were taped last Saturday. Raw was taped live on Monday, and then they taped 2 episodes on Tuesday, the one we saw tonight, and next week's Raw After Mania, which is like the weirdest thing ever. Can you imagine taping the Raw After Mania before WrestleMania actually happens? So you have to imagine there's going to be like a new champion or 2, maybe.
That's
and
a
like
lot
someone's
of
gonna come out with a title.
Going on.
Yeah, someone's gonna come out with a title belt that they didn't win yet.
It's a very strange thought to like have to do everything so ahead of time just to fulfill the obligation of storyline. It's insane.
Yeah, everybody's mentioning off-site matches. You know, like yes, and there's going to be that Firefly Funhouse match. There's going to be the Boneyard match. I'm sure there'll be a few other things as well. You can't do that triple threat ladder match outside.
I don't think so. I really don't.
But I don't know what they do with that ladder match. Now, one change that was made that was reported that became official tonight was, and the only thing that I wasn't 100% sure about was who was replacing him, but Andrade was certainly injured and was pulled out. He was supposed to, like they were advertising him tonight, as he was going to be part of a 6-man tag. It was him, Angel Garza, and Seth Rollins versus the Street Profits and Kevin Owens. And Zelina Vega comes out and says, due to a very serious rib injury, Andrade cannot perform at WrestleMania. So she called up the hottest free agent in wrestling, Austin Theory. Wow.
That was something that you predicted.
I didn't predict Austin Theory.
Yes, you did.
No. I reported Austin Theory, but I wasn't 100%. Like that one was.
I could have sworn you before it was reported that was your inclination.
No.
Really?
Austin Theory? No.
Are you sure? I really thought you did.
I would admit it. Jesus Christ! Like you thinking, I would. I love putting myself over. No one loves putting themselves over more than me. But I cannot attest to that. Daniel, I do not think Orton and Edge is off-site, and I don't even think it would be in Edge's best interest to do anything off-site with his neck, and stuff like that. I think they keep everything safe in the Performance Center. What are you looking up, by the way?
No, it was something to do with the Miz. I'll go back to it in a minute. I'll just let you finish your thought.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. Gosh. But I wonder what they're going to do with that ladder match now. Is it going to be like, well, now the ladder match is for the number one contendership, and all of a sudden, like I'm recapping WrestleMania 13 right now, and it was at that time, in the Monday Night War where you would take a match on a pay-per-view to promote a match on free TV the next day,
Right.
So it's like at WrestleMania they did one of those kind of matches, like
I know.
so it was like a fatal 4-way tag match with Headbangers and the Godwins and the fucking horrible new Blackjacks and Phil LaFon and Doug Furnace. That's it. I got it. For a match that took place the next night on Raw. It's like so weird. Like, are they going to do that again at this WrestleMania? Is it going to be a ladder match for the number one contendership?
I don't know.
Or do they have to vacate the titles and it's just now just a regular tag match?
I guess so.
CJ, good night. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, CJ. No, I truly think they're going to have to just do away with it and then vacate it. I don't know. That's my opinion, but who knows at this point. The thing I was looking up about the Miz was I was trying to see, like, from the comments, just see how people were reacting to it, because Maurice, for like 2 seconds when the story came out that Miz was not going to be on WrestleMania, and that like they had, apparently there was this whole thing with the Usos going on.
Yes.
Maurice had turned off her comments for like 5 minutes, but
I can't see. Maurice blocked me.
I know.
It was so innocent. I didn't even do anything wrong. What did I do wrong?
You said she did nothing all day.
No, I asked if she does anything all day. I didn't say she did nothing. I was checking to see if she does anything because I was sure she wasn't.
Anyways,
block me of all the stupid comments.
But apparently, it's very back and forth. But Maurice had turned off her comments like for like 5 minutes. They're back up now, because it was Monroe's birthday this past week, so they were celebrating that and everything else. But
well, Victoria is the lead columnist of
All Things Miz.
All Things Miz and Spilling Tea with Victoria. Victoria is just, all she does is spill tea. So that's your
she's
thing.
hysterical right now.
Is she crying?
Yep.
All right. See you later, Victoria. Damn it. We were just having a good conversation.
Sorry.
Bring her out here, little freak. All right, fine. Okay. Anyway, so... Well, at least she got the entire thing about the Miz out before she was taken away from us by the sweet little baby Liliana. That's okay. We'll still continue on without her. So that's basically all of the big news. And I forgot to say at the beginning of the show that if you didn't want spoilers, you should just watch cautiously. But what can you do? I'll put a little disclaimer in at the description, at the end of the show. Anyway. It's as far as we know, and Triple H on SportsCenter mentioned that there were a few talents that couldn't do it. Obviously we know about Rey Mysterio and Dana Brooke. The Rey Mysterio quarantine, he didn't have a match booked for WrestleMania, that was released publicly, but you could definitely see that there was going to be something with him and Andrade and Angel Garza, and it was probably going to be a tag match with Mysterio and Humberto Carrillo versus Angel Garza and Andrade. But with Mysterio being quarantined, Carrillo lost his spot. You haven't heard from Carrillo at all, and there's nothing, as far as I know, there's nothing wrong with Humberto Carrillo. That's a real bummer because they've been building up these guys, Humberto Carrillo, Mysterio, Garza, and Andrade. They've been, funneling them in back and forth, just doing matches against each other, but never doing like a tag match or a fatal 4-way. In my really what I want to see at SummerSlam, when we get there, because that'll probably be I can imagine SummerSlam being one of the first shows with people again. That's how far out I think this thing's going to go. A fatal 4-way, for the United States title, for instance, with Mysterio, Andrade, Garza, and Carrillo would be awesome. But yeah, there's definitely something Mysterio. There's absolutely like the Andrade Garza versus the Street Profits for the tag titles came out of nowhere, and then unfortunately Andrade gets injured, and now it's Austin Theory and Angel Garza versus the Street Profits for the tag titles. Wow, what a heck of a thing for Austin Theory. Wow, lucky bastard. 22 years old. I said on the NXT recap that that I did this past Wednesday watching Austin Theory in the empty Full Sail University arena. He was great. It was him and Tyler Breeze, and gosh, Austin Theory really carried that thing nicely. He did a lot of trash talk, so it doesn't make it feel as quiet. Like there's somebody talking. Gosh, it just makes it even that much better. That's why the Asuka thing with Caden Carter lasted for like 2 seconds tonight, but God, I was loving everything Asuka. Asuka is like an entire arena crowd rolled into one person. And my only regret about her entire thing is that my high school did not offer Japanese. And even if they offered Japanese, I would have had to have the foresight to take it so that I could understand what the hell she's talking about. I'm sure she's cutting a promo, and I'm sure nobody's writing it for her, and no one writes Japanese back there. And she's just shouting and just talking and talking, and she doesn't stop. She's probably cutting a hell of a promo, and we have no idea. I wish that I had access to somebody that speaks Japanese fluently, because I would love to know what the heck she's saying. She's awesome. She's so much fun. The dancing, the whole thing. When she hit Caden Carter with the butt bump and she slaps her back end. I'm not going to do it to myself. I don't want to hurt myself. Going to the commentary table. I mean, she gets into the performance center, and they have everything EQ'd, for an empty building. And she gets on, the first thing she does is immediately peaks the microphone twice, just screaming. You could just hear it's just blowing out, and you could almost imagine the audio guys like rushing because they got the peaking under control pretty quickly, but she definitely peaked the microphones a few times. She is so friggin' awesome. I love it. And no one's ready for Asuka apparently, so. You're back?
We'll see.
Wow.
We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see.
All right. It's going to be one of those nights, I think.
God.
All right. Are you in position? Can I turn you back on now?
Yeah.
There she is. All right. So we're getting there. We're getting there. I was just talking about how much I love Asuka.
Oh my God, that was awesome tonight.
She's ridiculous. Ridiculously funny.
She's amazing. She's so funny. I have to be honest with you. It's kind of sad that they finally got things right. I feel like they did. They're doing the best they can. I feel like they overall did everything right tonight.
I agree with that.
And especially with Asuka, I really like the interaction between Becky Lynch and Shayna Baszler. You didn't talk about this yet, I don't think. Undertaker.
No, the Undertaker I was waiting for. Yeah.
Oh, but man, Asuka tonight, she's hilarious. She really is. Yeah. And it's not even. She just got a certain way about her. You know what's funny? I never really thought that she would make a really good heel, but she's an incredible heel. But she's like the heel who brings comedy, which I love. I love that mix in her character of heel, but she's really, really funny still. So you can't help but laugh and everything.
She's
awesome.
She's such an asset to them right now, as there's no one in the building.
Oh my gosh,
and
so good.
She, like I said, she's like an entire crowd rolled into one. She is her own crowd.
She is,
which is so great.
100%.
Let's talk a little bit about before the baby wakes up again, because I really wanted to get to this, and I know we have to talk about Raw, but there's really not much to talk about. It's Paul Heyman cut a promo. Undertaker cut a promo, and I would like to talk about that because that was actually really good.
Yeah, so the Shayna Baszler, Becky Lynch
thing.
I thought that was good. I have to be honest with you.
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
I thought it really had good.
It was striking. It was powerful.
Yeah,
I thought
that's the word I would have described it as, powerful for sure. No doubt about it.
So Victoria, let's say that Orange County doesn't lift the stay-at-home order. WWE has to potentially find another place to tape. Our national guidelines have been extended to now April 30th for the social distancing thing. Mm-hmm. And because people just can't help themselves. And there's so many people screwing it up for everybody out there, especially in our area, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania.
The whole East Coast.
The whole East Coast is just a disaster, or at least the upper East Coast. Florida is, though, turning into a disaster quickly. Louisiana is turning into a disaster quickly. We're trying to flatten this curve here. And, the longer this thing goes on, when can we expect to see people in the crowd again? And you have to imagine, like, I get it. Ratings aren't everything, but we had the curiosity rating the first week for Raw, and they actually did some really good numbers that first week. Although they did, I think they did like 2.4, 2.4, and then 2.1 when it just went back to the Performance Center. That's when they showed the 2020 Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
The next week didn't fare so well. I can't imagine that tonight's going to fare any better. I'm just wondering, like, yes, there will be some people that come back when people eventually come back to the arenas, and some people will come back and check it out for the curiosity. But once people start to break that habit of watching wrestling every Monday night, we've seen it. We've seen what happens with SmackDown. When SmackDown was on Thursday, they had numbers. When they moved to Tuesday, those numbers fell. Or actually, originally when they were on Thursday, they went to Friday. They lost some audience. Then they went back to Thursday again. They lost some audience. They went to Tuesday, lost even more audience. Now they went to Fox, which are doing well, but they just did their lowest numbers, because no one wants to really watch these empty shows. Like, I'm kind of curious about that. Do you think that everybody will just get back on the bandwagon and start watching again when everything gets back to normal, or is there going to be a piece of the fan base that is lost for good, kind of like when WCW went out?
Here's my thing. I think people are going to want some type of normalcy back into their lives, and I really do genuinely believe that people are going to actually appreciate wrestling and appreciate, even though like it's 3 hours long and people haven't been watching it and everything else. I really genuinely believe that people are going to want to watch again. I think their numbers will actually spike. Here's where I think they might lose people, though. I think you might get more viewership at home. I don't know about everybody else personally. Yes, I do want to get out of the house. There's no doubt about it. I would love to be able to leave my house and not have to think about like wearing gloves and wearing a mask and washing everything that before I come back into the house and whatever and whatnot. But at the same time, though, I think you're going to have a hard time filling up arenas because people are going to be very, very nervous about being in a crowd that quickly. Even if we do have the luxury of having SummerSlam in Boston by August, which I don't even know at this point because the way everything is, it's like that even seems so far away. But I think the viewership is going to be fine. I think within the first few weeks, it will spike in their numbers again because people will just want to see a crowd and see how they're going to do. And I think that people really do want to watch something that has been near and dear to them. I think people really want to look back on what they have been doing.
Yeah, a sense of normalcy.
And I think it's like a kind of like they should almost view this as like a renaissance, like just revive everything but make it even better.
Well, I do think that, I think they just need to get through the week after WrestleMania, and I think they just need to start, if they can, work out a deal with their sponsors and the networks, show just like classic pay-per-views or, they're like, I really feel like the reason, it's more than just content for having it on FS1.
Yeah.
They're going to show the Royal Rumble on FS1. From this year, I think they're testing the waters to see how well do our past pay-per-views do on television. Yeah. Are people interested in watching that? Well, because I almost think like, what's the point of continuing on with this exercise of the Performance Center with, a couple of matches that just make you feel depressed watching them because it's not normal.
Right.
And then showing a couple classic matches just to fill time.
I think they have an
how
obligation.
How much longer can they sustain that?
That's what I'm saying.
I really think they should just do like a hard, just put it on pause and say, once this thing's over, we're going to come back. We're going to come back better than ever. Take this time to come up with new storylines.
I agree.
Because honestly, like in 50 years of having WWF and WWF and WWF and WWE, Vince McMahon's never slowed down. Yes, it was his father's company, bought it from him in 1984, 83 or 84. But he was working in it from, the 60s and 70s on, as a ticket taker, a right up to commentator to promoter. He's never had a pause in his life. Maybe the steroid trial was a pause, but that's not really a pause.
I think this is a weird opportunity for them to.
I think it's a great opportunity for them to kind of like
for them to reset button,
right? For them to reevaluate, like, how can we connect with our fans again? Obviously, like, you know, there's a connection issue here. That was like the one big thing that was talked about when in February, when the numbers came out, and they were the best numbers that they ever did, but it wasn't the projections that they wanted, and there's a whole thing going on with Saudi Arabia. The big thing that was talked about, you know, in all the Wall Street articles that I read, was that there's a connection issue with the crowd, with the audience, and, you know, on a company that you know, is nothing without their audience, they're not connecting with them. So I think it's a great opportunity for them to kind of step back, think about how can we kind of refactor these characters to make them more relatable.
I agree.
Help them to connect. Probably some of it is, you know, more input from the performer themselves. You know, maybe, you know, like a half and half thing. You know, maybe they give them like little, you know, things that they want them to say, like, again, like bullet points, or even like, you know, okay, here's like half a script, you know, fill in the rest.
Right, general outline,
you know, just to see, or what would be great is letting the talent write their own promos, like during this time. Like, let's just say they take off, like almost as like a homework assignment for the WWE roster, right?
Yeah.
They say, okay, we want you to write a promo and send it to us,
yeah.
and, you know, we'll evaluate it, and, you know, and we'll work from there and see if you have something there.
I agree.
You know, maybe they start letting them write their promos and submit them, and then they can doctor them up a little bit.
I think this should be something that
there's a lot of great opportunities
here. Nothing is forever. A lot of great opportunities. You know what I mean? Nothing is forever, but when you have an opportunity like this that hopefully you're not going to get again, you know what I mean? To just really kind of figure things out. And I really do agree. They cannot be continuing like this for the rest of the time while we're under this strict order to be home. They just can't do it. But I think it will survive. Yeah. I really do. I think.
I don't think they're gonna have an issue surviving. You know.
No, but I think.
I think they can take this time to come back better than ever.
I think they could too, and I think that they shouldn't just do it. They shouldn't just come back to just come back, because again, people are just going to be interested and watch it because they just want to see a crowd again. You know?
Yeah.
They should come back full swing, like full force. You know, we're going to give you even better than what was initially, our plan was going to be initially.
Yeah.
So I genuinely hope that they will take this time to do that.
Yeah. And it seems like the chat room's kind of like, you know, like the chat room sees like how a break could be good. A lot of them don't think that Vince will do it. I'm on that boat too. I don't think Vince would do it, but I think it would be the best thing for him to do.
Oh yeah, I don't necessarily think Vince will do it.
Yeah,
they should. But
he should.
It's
really should.
Doesn't mean you should do something, and that means that Vince was going to.
Like I sometimes feel like, you know, when I'm watching wrestling, like I almost feel like it needs an off season. You know, maybe like. You know,
I think after WrestleMania, it not directly
like
after WrestleMania.
It's not even like an off season. It's just like it's like a we can't go on season.
Right. I mean, it's not even an off.
We can't continue the season. Like they have to do what the XFL did. Like if Vince could allow that to happen for the XFL, he's got to think about, like, you know, the performers. Like they have families. Like this is just a carnival show at the end of the day. You know, it's like. It's just weird ballet. Yes, they get hurt. Yes, and I'm not saying, oh, Mike's saying it's fake now. They get really hurt. It's not what I'm saying. But it's not real. It's not sports.
I always said that wrestling should be...
It's a show.
I always said wrestling should have a break, though.
Yeah, and shows take breaks. Like every single television production's like in limbo right now because of this.
Do you know what I think should be an off season, believe it or not? In the fall, like when football comes back, like right after SummerSlam, like September and October, bring it back in November.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
I think September and October should be their off season. 2 months.
September, October traditionally is their friggin' worst.
That's what I'm saying.
Just do live events.
Yeah,
they can survive on that.
Of course,
you know, especially if they take those 10 months to concentrate and like put out the best product they possibly can.
SummerSlam's like,
then the live events will sell themselves because people
and
will
WrestleMania can still happen in April.
There will be characters that people want to pay to come out to see.
Yeah,
you know, that's the
I think
the
they
key.
should consider having an off season of September and October. Me personally, again, not going to happen.
And Daniel Schell says this is something Mike and I agree on. We agree on a lot more than that, Daniel. Come on now, please. But
Daniel likes me more than you,
Daniel
though.
makes a great point here. Did I just say that out loud? Daniel makes a great point here. NFL has 9 months off. MLB has 7. NBA has 7. Why can't WWE do that?
And they're not even having to have that many months off. They can have 2.
Right.
2 would suffice. September and October are more than acceptable to have an off season.
MLB has, I think MLB usually has about 5 to 6 months off, not 7. But yeah, I get the point. I get the point. Yes.
You have to be. Oh, they have to be technical here.
I'm just saying. I don't want to put. I'm just me because I'm a fact checker and I only post stories that are accurate and true. I just want to make sure that I'm making sure all the facts are out there. Anyway, let's talk about this Undertaker promo.
Just really good.
I gotta say, as I was just shitting all over, the promo process, I have noticed an increase in the quality of the promos in the last week or so. I thought Randy Orton's promo last week was one of the best of his career. But it's because, there's no pressure. There's no crowd,
But I think you have to be. You can't
sell it on the physical product right now.
No. So you can't sell it on the physicality of wrestling. You have to
sell it on
the mic.
Everything has to, be so story-driven right now because in the ring, nothing's getting over. You really need a crowd. You need the crowd to go, ooh, and ah, and boo, and yay, and,
well,
if that's not happening, if it's not cued for the person just flipping through the channels at home, it's it's just not working. So you have to they have to be able to tell a really good story.
I always think a promo is a really good monologue. A really good monologue.
I haven't heard a really good monologue in years then. But,
no, but a really good way of telling a story and, and everything else. So in a monologue, you don't need the ooh and the ah and the reaction from it immediately. You get... Even if you're left speechless, that's okay.
Yeah.
But they have the right people speaking right now.
Oh, no doubt. Undertaker was tremendous here. Calling out AJ Styles, since we're getting real here, Alan Jones. I've been called I've been insulted by better people in my past. Yes, I have more matches behind me than I have ahead of me, but you're going to get the very best of me at WrestleMania. I'm going to kick your ass and whatever. You mentioned my wife, and it was just a great promo. It was really good. He wasn't really doing the dead man thing, although he did do the rest in peace thing. But I'm kind of feeling Biker Taker again.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
and maybe just for one time only. I think he goes back to the dead man gimmick after this.
Is he doing Biker Taker because of the situation though?
I don't know.
Or is this always going to be Biker Taker?
I don't know. But it was definitely Biker Taker because he did the old, and I was there, King of the Ring 2001. Make me famous. I was front row. Watch King of the Ring 2001. I was front row, dead center.
You told this story.
Red
you
shirt.
And your dad are wearing red shirts.
Yes.
Not planned.
My dad and I were in red shirts. It was not planned. Yes, you have to watch that. But yeah, DDP debuted, Make Me Famous, and Undertaker said, you want me at the Showcase of the Immortal? Of course you do, because I'll make you famous. It's what I do. Great. It was really, really just strong. Great callbacks to things of the past. And again, because you could tape these things multiple times, if, okay, I didn't like that take, let's do it again, Mark. And goes again, does his thing. Or they could say oh, you know what, that doesn't roll off the tongue right. Let's rewrite that. You can't do that with a live crowd, but
no.
you have a lot of luxury to, tinker with a lot of things.
Exactly.
So it's actually advantageous to them. But I think if he comes back as the Biker Taker, I think it's a one-time deal only because AJ Styles personally insulted him, and I think he goes back to Dead Man because you can't have Undertaker not do the Dead Man entrance one more time before a crowd.
Oh, that is the one thing I truly, truly miss is that entrance. I don't care if it's 10 to 15 minutes long. I miss that entrance.
Me too. I just and we've seen it so many times.
So good.
It's so if you see it live, it's so good.
Get chills.
But like Victoria was saying, us seeing live shows for quite some time, unless it's they promote it as okay, Undertaker's retiring tonight. I'll be there. I don't care about COVID. I'll be there. But
No, I care about
well,
COVID.
you're not going then, but I'm going. But
Well, then you could sleep in a hotel.
honestly, I haven't missed a Yankees opening day since when? 2013, maybe.
Yeah, no, it definitely was 2013 because 2012 you didn't go.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm saying 2013 was the last time that I didn't go to an opening day.
Yeah, no, I know.
So I think it's been 2014 to 2019.
Yeah.
I haven't missed a Yankees opening day in years and years. But if they opened up baseball tomorrow and said everything's fine, I don't think I go to a baseball game. It's like it's gonna take a long time. Before like that's another thing I'm wondering too is like, things aren't going to just get back to normal just because everybody says
that's
okay,
what I was
it's all
saying
good.
before. I find that the viewership will be fine from home. I don't necessarily know if you're gonna get a huge crowd.
Yeah.
Because let's just pretend SummerSlam, everything is back to normal. I'm hoping it's back to normal. We were planning on going. I don't know anymore. I really don't. I don't feel comfortable, and I hate to say that. I don't know when I'm going to feel comfortable again to be in a big crowd like that.
I know.
It really freaked me out that we went to Elimination Chamber, but
Oh
again,
my
I don't
God.
even know. But
Well,
we didn't know though.
We didn't know,
We had no
and when we
idea.
went to Elimination Chamber, it was like, yes, we know about this coronavirus thing,
But it wasn't
and
a thing.
we know it's bad, but it's not around us, and it's not going to get to us. It's in Washington right now.
It wasn't it really wasn't a thing. But then that week it turned into.
But
a
it
thing.
was a thing, and we just. But we I gotta say, we're pretty lucky that we came out unscathed.
I know. Well, especially when everyone friggin' coughing around us.
I know.
I was like,
I was thinking it. It was in my mind. It was definitely in my mind. But jeez, it's so wild. I don't know. Like I've been to 70 WWE shows in my life. It's like I don't know when's the next time I'm gonna go. Probably be like a year or two.
That's what I'm saying. I feel
a year or two after the all clear. I can't imagine wanting to go.
I feel very uncomfortable going anywhere right now. Like I'm literally going to, even when we're get the okay to go to supermarkets like regular people again, which we're not banned from going to the supermarket, but it's crazy. It's just it
was weird. It is weird times. WrestleMania, 2 nights, Saturday and Sunday. What do you think?
I'm very blah right now. I really am. I hate to be in such a bad mood, but I'm in a bad mood about all this. I just feel for every.
It's not something I did.
No, I just feel very. I don't want to be dramatic, but it. I am like very.
Gotta live the gimmick.
I'm very depressed about this, with this whole, because it even changed from what their initial plan was to begin with. I think what they had initially intended was that, most of the stuff was going to be, yes, pre-taped beforehand, but there was going to be a lot of stuff live too. But now with everything, with all these guidelines, it's like you can't even have certain matches. And now you are worrying about the health and it didn't even actually dawn on, except for Roman Reigns. He was literally the only superstar that I was actually thinking like he's not going to be able to perform. There's no way. But even somebody like the Miz, let's just say Miz does have it. Right. I don't want anybody having it, and you don't think that anybody can have it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, even let's say he knowingly went with symptoms of whatever he had. Like, I don't want him having it. I don't want anyone in the roster to have it. That's terrible. But like the fact that there was so much juggling and last minute stuff, it's just not the same. It's not the same.
I agree with that. I totally agree with that.
And I find that I'm just looking at this as like curiosity, but I don't know. I just want normalcy again. And when you hear things like April 30th and until further notice, it's really hard to get out of that funk.
Yeah.
And I'm just being real with everybody. I'm not exactly my happy myself lately.
I know. It is, on the real side of things, we have a lot of fun when we come on this show. And we have a lot of fun at home. But it's like, I love being at home because I get to see see my 5-month-old baby, get like hit milestones and stuff like that. And it's great for me. But at the same time, in the back of my head, I know that I'm not supposed to be here. It's almost like, like being being a ghost or something like that. It's like I'm not supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be at work.
I was just supposed
to. This is like, it's tough. It's like, and anybody who's quarantined, we're not the only ones going through it. I know that. And everybody in chat room, we feel for you. If you're quarantined and stuck at home, it's not fun. It's, but that's why we do these shows.
Yeah, no,
because
I know.
It's the community aspect of these shows
of course,
that are really going to get us through this. And that's why, like, in all seriousness, I joke around with people. I've even gotten into some scraps with people, like CJ Bowman and I got into a scrap like a month ago. I like CJ Bowman a lot. I think he's a really nice guy. At the end of the day, we're arguing about wrestling, and I took it too far probably, and for that I apologize. But it's the camaraderie. We don't take you guys for granted, and we love just hopping on this show at this point right now. Like, I have no interest in talking about Monday Night Raw, but I do it because I have a great interest in chatting with the people in the room and chatting with you and like some kind of structured normal thing, because post Raw is our normal thing.
Yes.
11:15, 11:20, 11:30, whenever the hell we go on, this is what we do on Monday nights, and I love this
very much. This part of, like, I actually was looking forward to this today. To be talking with everybody, even if it isn't all strictly about Monday Night Raw, because let's face it can't strictly be all about Monday Night Raw nowadays.
Yeah, I know. And like, wrestling's like the least important part of these shows almost.
Yeah.
But anyway, I don't know how we got off on that tangent, but yes, I want everybody to know we appreciate you so much, and like this show is like therapeutic for us, to like go through this. And I'm looking forward to hopping on Wrestleview Live with Dougie on Saturday and Sunday and talking WrestleMania night 1, night 2. I love talking with Jerome on Wrestleview News. We're gonna be coming out with Wrestleview News on Thursday. Doug's doing a show on Friday, Wrestleview Weekly. So we have a lot of content coming up. Josh Boutwell is the man. He is just cranking out content. Josh had a thing today about an NWA TNA pay-per-view that he really liked when they were doing the weekly pay-per-views for $9.99 on Wednesdays, when Six Pack came and won the X Division Championship, I believe it was. He's going to have another thing out tomorrow. Josh has recapped the Great Sasuke documentary, and so we got content coming out. I got WrestleMania 13 coming out probably tomorrow. I'm digging doing the WrestleMania retro recaps, which are a lot of fun. I'll probably have WrestleMania 14 out on Friday, and then unfortunately I wasn't all caught up by the time we got to WrestleMania, but we'll get there. It just gives me more things to do in the coming
Well, it's
week.
not like you're busy or anything.
I am busy. No, I know.
I'm
actually,
joking.
I'm very busy.
That was the sarcasm.
You know what's weird is, like, I'm actually busier now than when I was actually at work.
I know.
It's like so weird.
You have so much going on throughout the day. It's insane.
I know. It stinks. And it's fun. And it stinks. I have this like weird, opportunity to stay at home constantly, and I'm still out doing things. It just sucks. Anyway, getting back to this Raw, WrestleMania 2 nights. Like, any match that you're like super amped for? None?
No,
you're not amped for a single match.
No,
I think I'm really, really super duper amped, about Edge versus Randy Orton, Last Man Standing. That is Edge's promo tonight was fantastic.
It was fantastic, but it's at the same time though, and again, I'm not trying to be a downer. It's like, it's not the same. I'm sorry. It's hard to get into any match. And credit to every one of those individuals tonight who cut a promo, wrestled, the crew. Thank you so much for putting 110% into everything and for really, really trying. I'm not looking forward to WrestleMania.
Mm.
I'm not. I will watch it. Curiosity. There's not one thing that I'm looking forward to. The one thing I would look forward to if all of a sudden tomorrow they're like, hey, we actually found a cure for the coronavirus and we can resume all regular activities, and that's it.
Was it the wrong call to do WrestleMania this year?
Yes.
Yeah, the more
easily.
The more this goes on, the more,
because
the more people dropped out of it, it did feel like
if we had our 2-week quarantine, no.
I think there's going to be a few more people that dropped out of Mania. There's going to be a few more changes to it than we know right now.
I do too.
And they're probably not going to, and because
they're
it doesn't matter,
because
it doesn't matter. You're just going to watch it on the network anyway.
Exactly.
And, or at a discounted price on pay-per-view.
That's what I'm saying.
They don't need to tell you.
They're not going to tell you.
But they can't tell you anyway because they taped all the shows before WrestleMania even happened.
They can. They already have certain things already taped for Raw.
WrestleMania's already happened. They taped shows well in advance. It's like that's why they're still promoting Roman Reigns versus Goldberg. I imagine that they'll have some kind of segment on Friday, or like some kind of like video thing, or they'll do or maybe they'll just wait till WrestleMania itself to tell you that Reigns is officially out.
If you told me that the 2-week, it was initially supposed to be the 2-week quarantine, I wouldn't say I've canceled WrestleMania. I'm like, no, don't cancel it. You could work it out. Like, do whatever you need to do. But the longer that this thing gets, WrestleMania should never have happened. Mm-hmm. And it's not their fault. I get why they're doing it, but it's depressing.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Well, on that happy note, let's start bringing this thing in for a landing. We will be back next week for the post-WrestleMania Raw. Traditionally, it's supposed to be the biggest Raw of the year. I don't know. I'm hoping that we pick up some great viewership on that.
There better be something that happens this weekend. Where
we'll see. I think we're gonna be surprised. I think they're gonna do as good a job as they possibly can. I think the off-site matches are gonna be a lot of fun.
I think they're actually going to do a phenomenal job. That's the weird part about this. I really think that they're going to put something nice together. I'm not going to say phenomenal. Just really nice together.
Whereas, like Undertaker said, phenomenal won my ass. Rest
exactly.
in peace.
I think overall they're going to put something. I think with what they have, the circumstances that they're under, I think they're going to do a nice job.
Yeah.
And nice job. And you can't really ask any more than that because their best is their best right now, and they're doing everything in their power to make sure that people are happy and entertained a little bit.
Well, like Paul Heyman said, it's going to be the most unique WrestleMania of our time.
And he described it perfectly.
No question about it. Chat room, thumbs up, thumbs down for Monday Night Raw. What did you think? I honest to God, it's
you just put a void on thumbs up and thumbs down.
I can't even grade Raw anymore. It's like I have to grade it based on the matches that they put on. I'm just
always
the classic
gonna put a
matches.
Thumbs up. I'm always going to put a thumbs up because again,
Yes.
I can't disrespect the company who's really trying.
Right, they're really trying, but they also want to make sure that they're putting out content for their money too.
I can't blame them for that.
I did see one really very cynical but quite funny comment from somebody too. Like when I scroll down, once in a while, every now and then, somebody goes, if Vince has no problem, sending his wrestlers out to Saudi Arabia for some blood money, then he has no problem making them, wrestle in coronavirus pandemic. It's like, oh my God, some people.
That was just mean.
I know, but hey, that's the thing. Daniel Shell gives it a thumbs down. Nafis gives it a thumbs up. Mr. V did not watch it. Monday Night Quill, Monday Night Snore from Quentin Walters and Scott. Thumbs in the middle from Quentin. Up from Billy. Given the circumstances, thumbs up from Scotty. Thumbs I didn't watch from Andrew Elder. And post-Raw thumbs up always from Quentin Walters. We thank you, Quentin. Thumbs up for you as well. Thumbs
I have
in
a
the middle
hitchhiker
from
thumb, by the way.
What's that?
I have a hitchhiker thumb.
You do. Jeez. Ooh, God. WrestleMania gets an up because of the day it happens. Yes, I agree. So, yes, that's of course. The day it happens. Well, one of the days is Uncle Billy's birthday.
Billy's birthday.
That's it, man.
Oh, this is the job on WrestleMania weekend. Everybody has to try to make me and Billy happy.
Yes, that's right. Because Victoria's birthday is coming up, and Billy's birthday is falls on WrestleMania.
Sorry, Billy. It's both our 30th birthdays.
It's all right. So your birthday gets extended a day now because it's like out there. Well, you know what? You make the best of it that you can. You know?
You're so positive. I love it, and I do appreciate it. I really do.
I try. I like life, and it's not all bad. On that note, I am Mike Tedesco, the editor-in-chief of Wrestleview.com.
And I'm Victoria Tedesco. I don't know why I just saluted everyone.
I don't know either. But if you liked our video, please, give it a like. If you haven't subscribed to us yet, subscribe to Wrestleview. It would mean a lot to us.
I'm really embarrassed.
Don't be.
I saluted. Why did I salute? I'm not a soldier. What the heck's wrong
If you like
with me?
Victoria's saluting, give it a thumbs up. We'll figure it out. Anyway, stay safe, everybody. Again, big week for Wrestleview Radio, or for our Wrestleview YouTube channel. It's going to be Wrestleview News with me and Jerome Weiland Thursday, Wrestleview Weekly after SmackDown on Friday, Wrestleview Live Saturday and Sunday, post Raw on Monday. Big week happening, so make sure you're tuning into all the stuff. We hope you enjoy it. We love doing it, and we'll catch you somewhere down the road. Be safe and wash your hands.